I can think of only one man for the job. Okay, so looking at this, you guys might be thinking, is there really any significance to looking at an old arcade game themed after Die Hard? And yeah, actually, believe it or not, Die Hard Arcade was another groundbreaking game by Sega. It was the first beat 'em up to use texture map 3D graphics, so it does have that going for it. And also, it's an example of a licensed game that doesn't suck. This is actually one of the fan favorite arcade games. So basically, what the game is about is it's similar to the first Die Hard movie. Terrorists have taken over a high rise building, they've captured hostages, and the president's daughter is for some reason among them. So, in the game, the police send John McClane in there, deciding not to get in his way this time, and he just goes to work kicking ass and taking names. The story doesn't really have any real bearing on the gameplay, and really the Die Hard theming is very skin deep in general. In fact, in certain parts of the world, the game is just called Dynamite Daka. But, I mean, thankfully, that's not a huge problem here because the gameplay is just so much fun. It is a pretty standard beat 'em up, but there are a lot of different moves you can do, and there's lots of weapons in the environment that you can pick up and use against your enemies. Rocket launchers, guns, various melee weapons. It's a lot of fun to play, and it's very explosive. It actually reminds me a lot of the old Punisher arcade game, which is something else that I wish would get a promising home port, but I don't think it ever did. But this is still a lot of fun, especially if you got buddies to play with. I would say the only problem with this game is that it is hard and you only have 3 credits to play the game on. So if you're going to play this game, be sure to get some buddies to join you so you can even the odds a little bit. As for the Sega Saturn version of the game, surprisingly, it's pretty faithful. The hardware they used to make the arcade game did translate very well to the Sega Saturn, so you get a pretty solid port of it, all things considered, though. Again, you can still only have 3 credits, and there's no way to beef that up outside of playing this weird bonus game it has, which is like a old school submarine simulator or something like that. While the series want to continue under the Die Hard brand, there actually were some sequels to this game. There was one released on the Dreamcast that was called Dynamite Cop, I think it was, and then there was Asian Dynamite. Not sure what's up with that name, but while it didn't have the Die Hard theming, it was still pretty much what you expect in Die Hard Arcade. So if you really like that game, it's nice to know that there are sequels to play. But Die Hard Arcade is still the most fondly remembered one. That's likely because it has the Die Hard branding on it. So it's another recommended game on the console, especially if you got a buddy to play with. Anyway, that's going to do it for today, guys. Join me tomorrow as we take a look at the next game in the series.